Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Casual Brews here with a Seahawks post-game recap. Week 1, Seahawks beat the Colts 28-16. Good game, on a really, really solid game. Not perfect, still a couple odds and ends, but better than I could have expected, honestly. Week 1, the Hawks have kind of stumbled out of the gate in previous years. Generally, offense sometimes looks a little sluggish first week. But yeah, it was good. Like for having a lot less time of possession, I think, than the Colts did. Colts were dinking and dunking a lot, running the ball a lot, keeping the Hawks offense off the field. But the defense, man, ooh, that was good to see. Colts aren't necessarily a dynamic offensive team, but they run the ball really well. Great offensive line, and Seahawks D line just completely dominated in the trenches. That was a pleasant surprise. I knew they were going to be better this year than they were in the past, but not to this extent. Green, Ford, all those guys were just manhandling a really good offensive line. They got sacked Wentz, I think, 3 times, but hit him a bunch. That really wears on him. He's a guy who's got to be, with his injury history, he's got to be, kind of always, worried about taking too many hits, and he's probably had some PTSD flashbacks to his Eagles days where he got hit all the time there too. I think they hit him 10 times, maybe more. So that was really good to see. And best part about that is they didn't have to rely on Jamal Adams. Last year at times, the only way that we get pressure on the quarterback is if they sent Jamal Adams across the edge. But I think he only rushed the passer 3 times, and one of those was on that, I think the first Colts drive where he jumped a mile offside and took an unfortunate penalty where I think Wentz was going to get sacked anyways. I think it was Mayoa or something on the other side of the edge, so it wasn't a stupid play by Jamal, but obviously he's amped up for a series. Give him a pass there, but that the pass rush was so good, just rushing 4 guys. They rotated in, guys like Dunlap and they could, in Monet, didn't have to always rely on the same 4 guys. They had a good rotation of pass rushers. Everyone was kept pretty fresh, and it was big. Hopefully the Puna Ford injury isn't serious. I haven't heard any reports or seen anything about what happened there. It looks like he kind of just back seized up, kind of awkward collision. Hopefully he's okay. He's a big part of that interior defensive line. But yeah, pass rush was amazing, honestly. Way better than could have been expected. I knew they'd be better than last year, but that was something else against a really good offensive line. Stopped the run pretty well too. Taylor had a couple decent gains, but for, again, a team that was one of the top rushing offenses last year, they held him pretty well in check. So that was good to see. And then offensively, again, limited time because Colts were kind of dink and dunking. Seahawks were willing to give them some shorter passes, and they took away, they only had 1 deep ball, so that was good to see. The Colts anyway. But yeah, so offensively, with kind of limited time, they did their thing, man. Amazing first half, 3 straight touchdown drives. Would have liked a little more aggression kind of coming out of the gate in the second half. Thought Russ kind of forced that one ball to DK that into double coverage. That wasn't ideal, but at least he kind of overthrew him a bit there and didn't really give the defender a chance to pick it off. Really, the only negative thing you could say about Russ was that one kind of play there. But, they picked it up. Had some good rushes from Carson. Penny looked good in 2 carries he had before he got hurt again. Shocker. Hopefully it's not serious, but man, it's just the guy cannot stay healthy. It's unbelievable. Carson had the 1 fumble. I'm sure he'll clean that up. There's a good defender, Darius Leonard, making a good play. But you're gonna you can pencil in Carson fumbling 4 or 5 times throughout the year probably. So hopefully get it out of the way early. Other than that, he was amazing. I think he had 91 yards on 16 carries, so that was really good to see. The offense in general was nice. A lot of tight ends were involved. A lot. Disley, Everett. I love the Everett pickup. He only had, I think, 2 catches, but there were 2 big catches. He had the touchdown, obviously, too. He looks like a receiver out there. He doesn't look like a tight end. He looks like another DK. Obviously not quite DK Metcalf, but he doesn't look like a tight end. He's tall. He looks pretty lanky, and he's quick. So he's going to be a good weapon throughout the year as So he gets more familiar with, well, I mean, he's coming from the Rams where Waldron came from, so he knows the offense. It's an added bonus. So he's going to be good. Hopefully, Prey Disley can stay healthy, because when he's been healthy, he's been a big contributor. It's just injuries, obviously, have been his downfall. But yeah, Russ looked great. Again, really wasn't any errant throws besides the one double coverage to DK. It was, two amazing deep ball touchdowns to Lockett. Those two are just on another level wavelength, and it's like they're only getting better year after year. It'll be exciting to see that. Obviously, DK was quiet. They really shadowed a lot of coverage to him most of the game until, Lockett was burning them, the running game was burning them, and then, that fourth quarter there, they kind of eased off of coverage on him a bit, and you saw him catch, 4 balls, I think 60 yards, which, you're going to have games like that where you had one game DK is going to go off because he's got soft coverage, and the next game Lockett's going to go off. We saw it last year. The difference this year is now at times like they would get so reliant on one of those guys, and then both those two guys, and now we got Eskridge. Unfortunately, he got concussed. It looks like cheap shot hit, should have been flagged, but yeah. So hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he only misses a game or two. He's going to be, I think, a good contributor, a good safety blanket. They used him in jet sweeps, which hasn't been great in the past when they used to do it with Moore, but I think Eskridge runs with a lot more conviction than David Moore did. So, those two, jet sweeps they had with him, I think 2 times rushing like 23 yards total, which is, you'll take that. And, the tight ends, that's the biggest thing, is the tight ends. The Rams love to use tight ends. Everett was their 3rd tight end on that offense. So, I mean, that offense loves to use tight ends. They love to do screen, effective screen passes, and not just like, out of the blue. The offense looked great. I mean, like I said, limited time of possession. The Colts really ran the ball, not necessarily well, but they ran the heck out of the ball, so they didn't give the Seahawks offense as much time to work with, but they made do with what they had. When you got, you're throwing 60-yard bombs, you're not going to have the ball as often. So that was great. Again, didn't get deep shot desperate at times last year. They were so desperate for the deep ball, even when it wasn't there. But, they took the shots when they needed to. They threw underneath when they needed to, and then they used the tight ends. You're going to, hopefully run a lot of 2 tight end sets, give some of the receivers a bit of a break here and there. Lockett's going to not have to be on the field all the time. Same with DK. They're going to stay fresher. They're going to use the 2 tight ends, going to use 2 running backs. It sucks about Penny getting hurt. Hopefully it's just a, sore calf type of thing, and he'll be back. But DJ Dallas is good. I'm sure them, if Penny has to miss time, Alex Collins can sub right in there. I'm surprised actually Dallas got the start over Collins, but if Penny's out, whatever, Collins will come in and do well, I'm sure. So use the running backs effectively. Yeah, just the offense looked good. Offensive line looked solid. If they just really need to be average with this offensive scheme, getting the ball out fast. And Russ, I like Russ early in the game there, running with conviction, not kind of like, ooh, should I stay, should I go? And then he gets, sacked on a scramble, right? So he ran a couple times with conviction early on, before the passing game got going. That was good to see. If he can just run like 3 or 4 times a game, 5-10 yards a clip, keep the defense honest, that'd be perfect. And then just get the ball out fast. Like, they got the ball out. That was led to a lot of the sacks last year, was not only the offensive line being bad, but Russ just holding on to the ball too long. But today, a couple times he got a little skittish back there, but for the most part, this offense gets the ball out fast, uses the tight ends, spreads the field out, and that's just what we like to see. The same offense that gave us fits when the Rams did it to us, right? We're now going to be doing it to them, hopefully. So, yeah, I'm glad with what I saw. I honestly expected a kind of a closer game. I don't think I made a prediction for the game, but in my head, I was thinking we would win 24-20. So a little more scoring than that. Defense did better, slightly better than I expected, and the offense did slightly better than I expected. So it's a good game. And really, it was 28-10. Kind of got a garbage time touchdown there, right? So, yeah, it was great to see. I'm looking forward to the next game, playing the Titans at home. Titans got killed today. I'm not sure if that means they're going to come out pissed off and give us a good game, or if they just stink. Like, their defense, I knew their defense wasn't going to be very good. Didn't think they would get killed by Arizona the way they did today, but so we'll see what happens. It's going to be a good year. Yeah, I said we win the division. The Niners look really good, but they let Detroit come back in that game. They were blowing them out, and Detroit made it close. So maybe defensively, not all that. We'll see. So maybe Arizona will be the team that we have to compete with for the number one spot in the division. We'll see. Yeah, it's going to be a dogfight. The NFC West might send all 4 teams to the playoffs, right? For all we know. I think it's going to be the Rams play tonight. Obviously, NFC West so far 3-0. Probably going to be 4-0 after tonight when the Rams kill the Bears. So, yeah, it's going to be a dogfight all year. Still think we'll come out on top, but it won't be easy.